What's up everybody, it's Joe from JLDB Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in Westwood, of course. And today we are on episode 29, I believe, unless I've lost count. I have lost count quite a few times, so this is going to be an episode where we're just going to try and pretty much fill in a couple more gaps, and it's actually not till episode 30 where we actually work on the log flume. So we actually pretty much get the log flume almost done in the next episode. So this one's not going to be a real exciting episode, really. I just wanted to experiment on a building here, just slightly with using a little bit of advanced tools and methods that I've been working on. So, and that's kind of using walls for using different things for walls that are not actually walls, so to get some different textures and different feels for different buildings. That way not every building feels like the exact same building, and that was kind of the idea with this one, is to create something that was just a little bit different. And I feel like I've definitely improved with some building skills, just doing some recreations and things along those lines, because my Silver City recreation on currently been building Outlaw Run, I've been learning a lot of different advanced methods of how to build things based off of that, because I'm like, well, I'm trying to get this texture right, and then I try to look for whatever I can to get that texture, because the end game textures aren't always the what you need. So sometimes you can find different objects to create different textures to get something a little bit different than what you're used to. So that's quite nice. It may take a little bit longer, as you can see very well here, but it is in the end can be worth it, because it looks slightly different. So I wanted to make sure that this doesn't look completely symmetrical and just kind of looks worn down and kind of old. That's kind of the objective here. So that's what I kind of work on, and I made a second level here, and I wanted to make just kind of like a normal kind of westerny kind of looking building. That was the kind of the behind this one. It's more of a facade. There's nothing interactive with this building for guests, but it's just gonna kind of be there. It will have a sign and stuff, but that's about it. It's just a very simple little westerny building, using a little bit more of advanced tools, kind of in a way. So yeah, look, I thought it turned out pretty good, and it's just a very, very, very simple. And in this episode, we don't really do too much anything. We don't do anything really exciting, except we do kind of connect some pathways, and I create kind of like a bridge made out of natural rocks, and I think that actually turns out really good, which we'll see in just a little bit. So there's just a lot of buildings to be built, and maybe a couple more flat rides. We'll see. There might be a kiddie coaster in the works as well, but we'll just see how that all turns out. But as of right now, we're focused on just getting those empty spaces filled in as best as we can. We're going to keep a couple of empty spaces for future expansions down the line, but for the most part, we want to fill in all that emptiness that is in the game. So very often I've been doing some stuff off screen, nothing anything exciting, just mainly placing trees and foliage on the outside of the map, and a couple of places on the inside as well. So I know, because you don't want to watch me literally place trees for like 20 minutes or so. So I try to make sure to do those kind of off screen, more or less. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do it on screen, but not like for a long time. Just if it's necessary for the area. And we're gonna go back and detail that theater eventually, and sometime down the line, because it is a little bare in the front, and we want to make the front just a little more interesting. So I've had plans of actually connecting this pathway over to the Invention Company. That way you don't have to go all the way around. You can just kind of cut through here and get to the Invention Company section of the park fairly quickly. And it's another bridge that goes over the train tracks, and I didn't want to make anything like very similar to the other one, so I wanted to make like a natural kind of rock support for this to make it look like it's supported by rocks, and it looks pretty decent. I like supporting things like this. I think that always turns out pretty good. And you just have a like elevated path up here, and then you have the path below. It's always a nice little thing to have in a way, I think. So it gives a really nice, neat feel to it. So you could be at the bottom, and you could have like friends at the top or something like that. Just kind of, just kind of cool. Yeah, I've always loved having like little elevated paths with, this rock supports to kind of make it look more terrainy rather than, an actual bridge itself. So it kind of makes it look like it's more terrain than anything, but it's not really. It's just a giant pile of rocks with some, bushes here and there, and a couple of trees as well. So my frame rate was actually doing pretty decent in this episode. I didn't really have any lagginess. I did have the graphics on low, not lowest. I think I've been having it on lowest lately. It just kind of depends on how my computer feels, in a sense. If I have my computer on for a long period of time and then play the game, usually that's when it kind of isn't as good. But if I, restart my computer and I need to start doing that, I actually get a bit of better frame rates, which actually is a really good thing. So, and then I wanted to make sure I got into the beginning of the queue line for the B&M. It needed to, I decided to make this one outdoors. So it's not going to actually have a cover over this, but it's going to have some interesting things that will be inside the queue lines that will keep some guests hopefully entertained. I still need to light this section up a little bit more when that time comes. So when I'm doing my final details for the whole park, I'm going to be scanning through to see what areas need more light during nighttime. That's going to be something that's very important because that's going to be you want to make sure your guests are going to be able to see at nights, because this park will be open at night at certain points of the year as well. So that will be really, really cool. And I've also been thinking about recording like my own voice for like loading stations and loading platforms and stuff. It's kind of like an automated voice message when you get into the train, need to stow away all loose articles in the cubbies across the way. This includes your hats, bags, cell phones, cameras, anything like stuff like that. I think that would be actually really neat, and just add a little bit extra layer of realism, and try and like alter my voice so it kind of sounds different everywhere. And I'll even throw like the name of the ride in there as well, like enjoy your ride on Iron Ghost. Just to make sure it feels like it's more approached to that ride and everything. I think it would actually be a nice little detail to add, and it's gonna be really cool. So I'm adding a lot of different props and stuff in this section of the queue line. Just a lot of bit of junk and stuff. Some wagons with some parts, wheels, and like just a lot of different things. I decided to put a coffin in here just for poops and giggles. And also, these wheels, I always like putting these in a lot of different spots in parks like this as well, because they work very well. And that's pretty much what we get into here, is just a lot of knickknacks and junk and stuff like that, whatever you want to call them, just for the entrance here. It's not going to be as detailed because this is the very last extended queue line that's in this section, so it's not going to get as much as kind of like when you get closer to the ride, because you're not going to, this isn't always going to be open. If it was like a real life, you could actually have the short entrance queue, the extended queue open, and different things like that, but you can't actually do that in Planet Coaster. So when it's busy, or not as busy, you can have the short queue open, and when it's busier, you have all the queue line open. That's not the case here, so all of it's open, but I want to make it feel like that could happen. So I'm using a lot of these wires stuff from the sci-fi section, or the sci-fi theme, but I won't want you to think like there's actually electricity completely here. It's just going to be like wires, kind of more like, not actually like electrical wires, but different kinds of wires for different things. And then I want to make sure there's a lot of like ventilation stuff in this to make this feel like kind of like an awesome lab and stuff. I think that's going to be a nice little touch. So you're going to see all these little ventilation and pipes coming out of the building. By no means am I done with this, so there's going to be a lot more to come. And then add just another trigger for when the trains move out. There's actually going to be a steam pipe here as well, blowing out some steam when the train moves as a trigger as well. I've added so many triggers for when the train moves. It's pretty funny, and I think it's actually a really neat feature to have. Just you see the steam coming up, and then I'm thinking about adding a couple more triggers for the ride, but it's really, really cool. The track scenery is actually at very high right now. It's even higher than Iron Ghost, which seems to have a bit more around it, but that really doesn't matter, I guess. I guess it gets a little head in scenery more than anything, so that's actually quite nice. So I'm hoping that a lot of these rides will attract a lot of guests, and that those queue lines will actually fill up quite a bit. With the free rides, I'd assume that they're going to get pretty full. And that being said, it's a good idea to have some priority passes available as well. So I'm very considering of trying to navigate some priority passes and to incorporate some of those into the rides. That way that option's there if guests want to use the priority pass. But some of those rides, the way I have the queue line set, it's going to be probably a little tricky, but I might be able to work around it and get that done. So we'll just see how it works. And I kind of want to see. Maybe test it first and then kind of go from there and maybe add them in the future. So I could start without them and then maybe the following season add them. That could be what's new in the following season. You never know, because there's going to be I'm going to keep this park going for as long as I can, because it is going to be a park I'm going to act as if it's a real park. So each year they're going to be adding different rides. They're going to be adding new attractions, and really cool things in that nature. I think that's going to be kind of neat. So again, when this park is done, I'm going to be doing a lot of different videos on just this park alone to keep you guys entertained. There's going to be a documentary, and again, if you haven't heard, I'm going to make all these. So there's documentary, there's going to be a regular cinematic video, which is probably going to be really long, probably a POV video with nothing but the POVs. And a park tour as well, as if I was walking through the park. That will be a lot of fun. So there's going to be the park tour, and I'm going to make a park map as well, which will also be kind of neat. I'll make sure to have that in the Steam Workshop in the pictures. I think that would be kind of cool, and I'm going to edit that, which will have, all the writing on as well. Have the names of the rides, I'll have the sections of the park, and a lot of different things like that. It will be really, really cool. I am very excited for all this. And again, next episode, we're going to be focusing a lot more on the log flume and actually pretty much completing it. There's a lot more to do, but for the most part, it gets almost completely done in the next episode. So it's not a huge log flume, but I think you guys will enjoy what it will do. I think it's actually really, really good. So I'm very excited and look forward for that. And really, after next episode, you really start to see the closing stages on this park. It's starting to get filled every single episode. It's getting more filled up. And especially once we add all the trees and foliage, it's really gonna look a lot more complete. So it still kind of looks a little bit naked at the moment, because there's still a lot of empty space. But not all that empty space is gonna be filled. It's gonna be filled mostly with trees and foliage. So I'm just gonna get all the buildings that I need to in those empty spaces, and then fill up, with all the trees and foliage, and it will be pretty much done after that. So there's not really any more major attractions after the log flume in the next episode that are going to be going in. The only things that would be going in is a couple of flat rides, but as you can see, all those empty spaces will be filled here very, very soon, hopefully in the next couple of episodes. I'm gonna guess, just go off on a limb, that we're gonna have around 40 episodes. I think that's about where Westwood is headed. Probably around 40 episodes total, which of course almost nearly doubles my first park that I completed, which was Mystic Bay. Mystic Bay took, I believe, 26 episodes. So here we are on like episode 29, and we still got quite a bit to go. You know, more detail. I mean, I think the detail episodes will take quite a few episodes, but not a ridiculous amounts, because we're gonna go back through the park after we've pretty much filled in all the gaps, and we're gonna just add details to everything that we may have missed or that we said we would come back to. So I can't wait for that. The Adventure Company is starting to develop a lot more now, as you can tell, and just in between the sections is really what we're gonna have to focus on very soon. The log flume itself is actually going to be considered to be in the ghost town area. Just so everyone knows that, and I already got a good storyline coming up for that, and you guys will be able to hear that in the next episode. So again, I do apologize that it's been a while, that I'm not getting as many videos out as I'd like to. With work starting back up, you know, it's been kind of a pain to try and get episodes out every day, but I'm doing my best, and hoping to try and stay consistent. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for your support, and make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this, as we are nearing the end of this video. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts of what you're thinking of Westwood. You know, I haven't really heard of a lot of people's thoughts on the park in general. I think it's turning out really nice, and I hope you guys agree that it's turning out really nice, and I would love to hear a lot of more feedback. And I'm already getting some ideas for my next park after this, so stay tuned for more details on that. And also, I'm actually thinking about getting a teaser trailer out for this park here pretty soon as well, so make sure you pay attention. So make sure you guys have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow, and I thank you guys so much for watching, each and every one of you. It does really mean a lot for all your guys' support. So again, I thank you guys a lot, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much, and good